Guys, deluded, I'm back again. Now, at one point in January, Yann Karamoh, the young French international, he's 19 years of age. However, he was born in Ivory Coast, and if he develops, they're going to have, both of them countries are going to have to fight for him. But yeah, Yann Karamoh of Inter Milan, they signed him on a 2-year loan deal from Cant, a club that I've told you guys, along with Cannes, El Havre, Lens, Gladbach, Ajax, Lyon. Arsenal scouts just stand out there and do your job and say he wants to sign for Arsenal. This is what you'll do. We missed out on him as well, considering that we scouted him and we didn't go and do it. Fair enough, I didn't know about him too tough, apart from his links, and I looked a bit at him, but I didn't have enough repertoire on the guy to be screaming him. Fair play. But this is where we're missing out on players yet again. And he's not the finished article yet. He's 19 years of age, like I just said. But this is where I tell you guys, finding talent isn't the problem. Identifying talent isn't the problem. It's getting the deal over the market, getting the deal over the line, in this current market. And when you consider that, if we want to be harsh and scrutinise Arsenal, that's the third graduate of Kant that we've missed out on in recent years. Mr. Wenger, who said, I've known Kante since 14, the ages of 14, didn't sign for this club. He's gone and won 2 Premier League titles. Thomas Lemar won a French league title. He's known him. Wenger said he likes him. He wasn't bought. And now my man, when we need a direct winger, he can play on the left, he can play on the right. There's even scope one day to play in the middle. I don't believe through up front. I don't believe that will happen. The guy's serious. At one point, like I was trying to allude to, he only played 45 minutes of football in January, and there was talk of going on loan to PSV. They were rejected. He's 30, man. You can see why Inter Milan have a lot of faith in him. He's 30. His coming of age was against Bologna. I was watching that game. He ripped it. The 60-odd minute or so, he scored one lovely finish. He danced past Bearman and he rocked it. I believe it was outside the area or just inside. I can't remember it exactly, but it was a banger. Keeper had no chance and he deserved that. But for me, it was the first 10. He assisted a goal in the first 10. Them fullbacks there, they probably have nightmares. They probably got skid marks, both from the grass and from bodily mad things. But yeah, destroying them. But away from destroying them, he had the common sense. He ripped one. He took one man down the line on the right flank, took him down the line, stopped, stood up the ball, did a little skill. So what does that show you? He has the patience to realise that, okay, something else might be on. He's calculated enough to make that quick decision to think, okay, I'm going to do a skill and then stop it on the byline. He stopped the ball on the byline. He got his head up. He played in a pass. That pass led to, I believe, a fullback who made the overlapping run, or whatever you want to call it, cross it in, and their striker, I believe it was Eder, scored. That, for a young player to keep his head like that, was amazing. And he was just lively throughout the whole game. Like I told you, we're dying at Arsenal. We're dying for a winger at this club. This guy was 30. He's not the finished article, of course, and that when you're having a good game, everything goes right for you. But it was crazy. The fullbacks didn't want it. He was doing step overs. He was mixing up his play. He was really moving smart, man. He's had to be extremely patient at Inter Milan for first team football. Like I said, I mean, at a point in January, he only had 45 minutes of football, and he's made no more than around 600 appearances for Inter Milan, at least where the league's concerned, or in general. I can't remember which one, but yeah. But you can see they done well. They done very well to sign my man on a 2-year loan spell, I believe, with an obligation of a permanent. I believe that's a lot of Italian clubs do that. So we have no chance of really getting that unless we really were to push through it and somehow rip up Inter Milan's agreement or get them to finger it, which would result in having to pay them off, which Arsenal just don't do and we won't do. But he's 30. If he displays consistently what he's shown there against Bologna, which seemed as coming of age, and this is your time to stay in this, because he's definitely going to be in the team next week. He surely should be on what he did. Where this is going to be where you kick on, you get your chance, and you make a name for yourself. If they've done that, Inter Milan have a star. The crowd were right to applaud him. Inter Milan have a star if he carries on like that. And with the way the transfer market's going, with the way that, I mean, every player wants to, regardless of how much affinity they have for a club that they're currently at or going to, whether they support it or it's done a lot for them. The Barcelonas, the Real Madrids, them sort of clubs there, when they call for you, you got to go. And with the fees that we've seen, and more so in Barcelona's case, ironically, them Real Madrids with the 100 odds for Coutinho, for Dembele, etc., you got to think they'll make a handsome profit on my man, I believe. So yeah, regardless of whatever the final fee is, surely can't be asking for that much. But yeah, man, guys, deluded Guna, YouTube's N'Golo Kante, let me get out of your hair, man. I'm out. Get in the comments, subscribe, and do the rest.